Hello, Bridget Bartlett here. Today, I am going to show you how to create a support ticket system inside of HighLevel. HighLevel is the only thing that we're going to use today to do this. And I'm super excited to show you this because this is something that people have asked for many, many times. And it took quite some figuring out to get. So I want to show you this basic support form. Of course, you can ask whatever questions that you want to, but this is my live support form for my members. So to really show you how this works, let's go ahead and I'm just going to pretend I am Jane Doe and I am going to submit a support ticket. Okay, so I'm going to enter in my info there. I'm going to go ahead and use an email address. And just so you guys, if you haven't ever seen me test things before, when you're testing your system, if you choose a Gmail address, the system will recognize it as a different email, but you want to make sure that you're receiving the emails. Okay, so what I do is I use a real email address here that I just have for testing, and then before it's actually Vision Marketing and Design Plus or Vision Marketing and Design at gmail.com. But if you put that plus sign and then some other type of variable there, it will allow you, it'll basically tell the system it's a different email. Okay, so this is a great way of testing so you can ensure that you are adding different contacts and it is you're actually receiving the emails. So here where it says please explain in detail the issue you're having, I'm just going to put test 1 because when I see where that is filled out, I want to see that test 1 is where the explanation is. And then of course provide a video showing the experience. So I'm just going to put Loom, but I'm going to do Loom 1. Okay, and you'll understand why in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and submit the support request. And you can see I'm routing to another page there, but you can see inside of my account now, let's go ahead and refresh. You'll see I've been playing around here. Jane Doe has submitted a lot of tickets today. So let's refresh that and let it load. I do want to say hello to Anthony and Rick and Ray and Manolo. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so you can see now we have Jane Doe ticket has been created. And if I click on here, you'll see the opportunity card shows up. We have Jane Doe there. We also have, oops, let's refresh again. I don't know if I clicked on the right one. Did I use 70 or a different one? Now I don't remember. I love that. Okay. So let's click on here. Now open up this card. All right, 71. Now, the simple way of doing this, I don't know why that didn't show up, you guys. I just tested this so many times. Let's do I maybe because I'm not incognito. That's another thing, I always preach be incognito. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. All right. So let's do Jane Doe. And we're going to choose a Jane Doe email address that I'm actually going to remember. Let's just do 100 just to make sure. I'm going to copy this. And then we're going to do test 1. And then we're going to add the link here and it's going to be Loom 1. All right. And let's submit the request. And we get routed to our thank you page there. Let's go back here and look at our opportunities. Refresh here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click here. And this is still that old one. I don't know why Jane Doe is not coming through. Let me move this over to the side because I am in my account here. And let me see where my contact. Okay, here's Jane Doe 100. All right. So here you'll see we have our contact created, and then we also have here the Loom 1 video, and then we have test 1, and then we have a support ticket here. Okay. Now let's say that we are Jane Doe. Let's go ahead and move that back in. Let's say that we're Jane Doe and we have another support request. Okay. So this is kind of where it gets a little bit tricky, and I want to make sure to show you how all of that works. Okay, so let's open up another incognito window. Let's go back here. It was Jane Doe 100. I remembered. So we have Jane Doe, and let's paste that in there. Oops. Script edition and plus 100. And we're going to say test 2. And then we have a Loom link. Let's do test 2 and submit request. Then I'm going to close this out. Okay. So now you'll see that we're sending emails, right? So we have this 633 ticket, and then we have 634 ticket. We're responding. You'll also see in the account now, the support info has been updated, and so has the opportunity pipeline. Okay. So let's break all this down, because that is a lot of information. Okay. So, you'll see here we have now Loom 2 and support ticket 1 video, support ticket 2 video, and then the issue 1 and 2. Okay. So you can see how all of that is broken down. All right. So, just before we move on, if I'm using HighLevel, if you're not a HighLevel member yet, or if you are interested in joining our program, you can choose one of the options at myvisionagency.com. You can also join our free community there. Okay. So the very first thing that we need to do when we're creating this pipeline or this support ticket system is we need to create a custom value. Now, this custom value is going to be the support ticket number. Okay, so let's go ahead and just click in here and edit this so you can see what it looks like. So all we're doing is literally just creating, it's going to be called support ticket, and we're just going to add any random number in here. Okay, you can put anything that you want to, but what it's going to do is it's going to update every single time we have a new support ticket, and then it's going to create a new one. Okay, so the next time someone submits a support ticket, this number will change to 454631. Okay. So that is the custom value that we need to create. All right. Now, let me show you the simple way of doing this so that you understand really how it works without adding all the extra in there. Okay. So we have a form here, and in that form is just like this form here, where we're going to ask the questions that we want to ask them when they're submitting a support ticket. Okay. So that's the trigger of our automation here for this one. And you'll see I've chosen a test form here for support. Now, the first step of this is going to be the math operation. Okay, so if you click that little plus sign there, you'll see you can search for math, and then you'll pull that up and you'll be able to select the fields that you want. Okay, so this one is the field support ticket number 1, and then we have add, and then you'll see this custom value here. Okay, this custom value can be added to let me actually show you this one. Okay. I think I wanted to break that down. Let me go back here. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm all over the place because I wanted to break that down to show you basically the math operation, but I changed this because I've been building this and actually using this in my own business. So let me just explain to you the basic workflow and how this works. So we need a field. Okay. So we're adding where we're doing the math operation, we're adding that custom value. Okay. You can just paste that in there. And then we want to update that custom field with the value. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do another math operation in the same field, and we're going to add 1, and then that's going to update that. Okay. So that's what we're doing to add a number to our existing custom value. Then what we're going to do is add another step here. And this step is going to be to update the custom value with whatever value was that last support ticket. Okay. And then we want to update the opportunity pipeline. All right. So if I have totally lost you guys, I'm so sorry. Let's break it down here. I want to show you what the actual workflow for 2 tickets, okay? Because the 1 ticket's great, but what happens if you don't add the next step for the 2 tickets is if they submit a ticket 1 time, then it's going to just update the fields, and it's not going to add the fields. Okay. Now, tomorrow, I'm really going to break this down and walk you through step by step, but I wanted to give you a good overview so that you advanced users can just go ahead. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay. Now, when you're creating this workflow here, I just want to walk you through the steps. Again, they're submitting the support form. Okay. Now, I have an if else conditional logic. And that's this question that I'm asking the workflow is, do they have an open ticket? If the answer is yes, this support ticket field is going to be greater than 0. Okay. So if that is true for this person, they're going to go through this workflow here. And I'll talk about that in just a second. If that's not true, then this is the first support ticket that they have submitted. So I'm going to add a math operation, and this is going to be for the selected field for support ticket 1. And we're going to add that value for the custom value. Okay, this custom value here. We're going to add that there and then update the field. The next step is another math operation. And here we're going to add 1 to that number. Okay. Now, when we do that, we need to then update the custom value. So this is basically the same workflow that I just showed you with the 1 ticket, but we do have these extra steps because we're asking the if else conditional, we're asking that question. Okay. So now we need to update that. Now, we really have only created the ticket at this point. All right. Now we need to update the contact fields that we have. Now, in this scenario, we do need to create custom fields. And you can see we're going to go through all of these tomorrow. But you can see the different custom fields that you need to create. And there are some that will update the opportunity and some that will update the contact area. So I want to really go in detail with all of that. If I did that today, this would be a super long video. And I don't really want to overwhelm you with all of this information. Okay. So we have the update the contact fields, and you can see we have support ticket number 1 video. What we're doing here is we're pulling in the field data from this form. Okay. And we're telling the system, okay, we've gathered this information for this contact. Now we want to do something with it. All right. And we need to place it in a new field, because if we don't, then the next ticket is going to override that data. Okay. So now we're saying, okay, the information that we gathered from this question, this is the answer to the question, the information that we gathered from that, now we want you to put that answer in this field. Okay, so that's what we're doing when we're updating contact fields. All right, now we have another one as well that we want to update, and this one is going to be the support ticket issue number 1. So again, to get this, like you can see, kind of see what it looks like, provide the link to the video. So what I want to do is I want to go to my custom values. I'm going to go to contacts. I'm going to go down here to custom fields, because remember, that's what we're working with, that they filled out a form which contains fields. So now we want to go to the field that had that answer, and we want to put that answer in that box. Okay. So the answer, or the question that was asked, is the video URL for support. Okay. So let's go to the actual question where it says, okay, please provide the link. Okay, so I want to choose, this is the question that was on that field that we filled out on the form. And so what we want to do is just click here. And then when you click there, it adds that data to this box. Okay, so now whatever they answered there is going to be now moved to this field. Okay, and then it's not going to go anywhere. All right, so even if they immediately fill out that form again, they're going to go through here and they're going to go to this workflow where it will have support ticket number 2 video and support issue ticket number 2 that we will fill out. Okay, so hopefully I'm not losing you guys, and you'll understand. If you're totally lost, don't worry about it, because when I go into great detail with this the next couple days, you'll definitely get how all these moving parts work together. Okay, so we have we're updating the fields in that contact. That way the answers are safe and they're not moving anywhere. Okay, so the next step here is we have our support pipeline. Okay. And remember, we talked about if you go to opportunities and pipelines. They're super easy to create. Let's go to pipelines here. You can see I have a support pipeline, and there are just 4 stages, right? So they submit the support request, it's in progress, waiting for customer response, or completed. Okay. Now, what's cool about this is we can update this. There's so many things that we can do based on every single stage. And that's why I say this is pretty advanced. So I don't want to overwhelm you guys. And that's why I wanted to break this down into a few days so that you're not super overwhelmed with all the info. So we have our opportunity pipeline, and that's what we're updating here. Okay. So the opportunity name on the card, what we want is to, let's go back to opportunities here. On the card, you'll see, let's click here. We want the ticket there. Actually, you can see it right here. We want that ticket right there because we need it to be easily seen so that when we're looking for the ticket, or maybe they've contacted us and said, hey, I submitted a ticket and it's this number, it's easy to see. You can also, of course, search in the search box there. Okay. Going back here. So we can add the opportunity name. And again, this is just a custom value that we're pulling in here. And then this is also a custom value. So you can see the text here is just going to say whatever their name is. And then it's going to be followed by ticket and the pound sign. And then it's going to have their contact support ticket. Okay. Now here in the opportunity source, you don't have to put this there, but it's another place where you can see here's the ticket number. We don't really need to worry about for support, the lead value and all of that, but you can also see here how you can add additional fields to the opportunity. And this is if you want that opportunity field to be filled out with the data that you gathered from up here. Okay, so let me explain that again in case I totally lost you. All right. We're going to basically do the same thing that we're doing up here where we are updating the custom fields, except here we're actually going to update the fields inside of the opportunity. Okay. So, and we want to pull in not the data from up there. We want to pull in the data from the updated field. When I said, hey, we're updating this because we don't want this information to move anywhere. We're going to update it with the information from this step. Okay. So we're taking the info from this step, no matter what it is, and then we're updating it here into the opportunity card. Okay. So we have the video URL and we have the support issue number 1. Okay. So these are the answers to the update that we made up here. Okay. And then we can allow duplicate opportunities because they may have 2 different tickets. All right. Now, if they have 3 tickets, I'm wondering what you're doing as an agency. Why do they have so many tickets? Of course, you can build this out as much as you want to, but I think most agencies would be fine, or most businesses even would be fine with just 2. But every business is different. You would just duplicate this process to add in the stages. Okay. Now, the next thing, of course, is we want to send an email to the person who responded to us or who submitted the ticket. And the subject line of the email, just like any other business, when you submit a support ticket, we can add here support ticket number, and then we're going to add the contact support ticket, that custom value, the new number that's created just for that person. Okay. And then we're going to say, hey there, and we're using a custom value again. Thank you for submitting a request for support. We will respond typically within 24 hours if you need support, da, 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 da. Okay. So that is the workflow if they do not have an open ticket. Now, if they have an open ticket, and going back to our conditional logic here, if they have an open ticket, then the answer is yes, meaning the support ticket number 1 field is greater than 0. Okay. So it's going to now, in this scenario, we're going to go down this branch. Okay. So then the very first step is the same as this one, except you'll notice the field is support ticket number 2. Then we're going to add the value, the custom value, no matter what it is, right? Because remember, in this step, the custom value is being updated every time we're adding 1. Okay. And then we're going to, again, update the support ticket number 2 field. All right. Now, the same here. support ticket number 2 field, and this time we're going to add 1, because no matter what, no matter how they come through, it's looking for that custom value, that support ticket, and then it's going to add 1. Okay. So even if they came through here and it was a certain number, and then they came through here again, it's going to be updated, right? So we're going to add 1 to that, and that is going to be the new support ticket number 2 that is in that field. Okay. And then, of course, again, just like here, we want to update that custom value that has our support ticket numbers, so that the next person who comes through here, it will update and be 1 more than what it was the last time. Okay. And then here we have update the contact field. So we're updating support ticket number 2 video with the info, just like we did over here, with the info from the form up here. Okay. So when they submitted that, it's going to go into this field that we're creating. And this is so, again, so that it's not every time they fill out the form that it's being overridden. Okay. Because if we didn't do this, they would fill out the form and then they would come back and fill out another form. And then the link where the answer was, and the description, uh, where those answers were, they would be overridden. So you would never be able to tell what ticket number 1 was or what the data was, because it no longer would be there. That's why we need to move it to a new field. Okay. And then here we're going to update the opportunity. Okay. So again, we're going to add the support. We're going to add the support ticket, except this time we're going to do support ticket number 2, because they're coming through this, which means they already have one. So we want to make sure that we're using the correct custom value here. And then we have support ticket number 2 for the opportunity source. And again, that's not required, just something I like. And then again, we're updating these fields here with the relevant data so that it doesn't go anywhere. Even if they do submit another ticket, it's not going to override the data that we already have there. Okay. And then again, what we want to do is we want to send an email. And again, this number is going to be support ticket number 2. And then we're going to say all the same things. Okay. Now, every time you do that, you will see new cards show up in your opportunity pipeline that you can just move over to different stages. And of course, this movement can trigger different automations. Like, for example, let's say that Jane Doe, I'm working on this support ticket and I want my team members to know that I'm working on it. You can even assign team members to your support tickets and all of that. But if I wanted to, every time I move this card to in progress, if I wanted to send a email or a text message even and tell Jane Doe, hey, we've started working on your support ticket. We'll be in contact shortly if we have any questions. I could trigger that email to send just by moving that card. So I hope you guys are really, you're really going to be excited when you see how we break all of this down and you see all of the options available. That's why I didn't want to just go throw all of this at you all at one time. I'm going to break it down, hopefully, and then I will provide the snapshot to you if you are a member of our team. Okay, of course, not today. When we're done building it, like always, every time I get done building something that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to show you how to build it, and then I'm going to provide it for you. Okay, so thank you all so much for joining me. And if you want to join our program, you can go to myvisionagency.com. If you already have a HighLevel account or you want to join HighLevel, you can click here to join our program. And if you would like to join as a client and get access to our HighLevel dashboard, you can do that there as well. And like I said, you can join the free community up here. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. For joining us for today's training. If you have any questions, you can join us for open office hours starting right now at Bridget Bartlett.